Hey guys, well today we are talking about a subject that's like kind of close to my heart and one that I've been wanting to share on for a long time. We're talking about singleness. Now listen, I kind of want to vomit when I hear the word singleness because I feel like it has such a negative connotation, but in this last year of my life, I have been trying to flip that so that we can, just enjoy what God has given us. So if you're single, make sure to like and subscribe to this video because I have more coming and I want to be on this journey with you. I'm just a girl chasing her dreams. There's ups and downs, there's adventure and excitement, and there's love and heartbreak. I'm on a mission to spread kindness, explore the beauty of the world, and bring light wherever I go. But most of all, I'm determined to live the life I've always dreamed of. Come along with me. I have been single, secret, my entire life, like literally my whole life. And so I have great experience with this, but I remember being 11 years old. I remember where I was sitting on a couch and I was like, okay, I'm 11, that means 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 7 years until I get married. And here we are, 17 years later, and still waiting on what I believe God's promised me for my life. But I wasn't allowed to date growing up. And so when I went to college, that was like kind of my first experience going on dates and like hanging out with guys and that sort of thing. There's a few different reasons why I think I'm single just in this time and space of my life. And one of those reasons is that there's a divine weight. Listen, who remembers back in youth group, you're like 15 years old, it's February because Valentine's Day is clearly the time for a relationship series. And the people are going over and they're talking about purity and dating and what that's supposed to look like. And I remember this so vividly every year, people saying, He'll give you a relationship when you're ready. So like, make sure you're getting ready and make sure you're doing this, this, and this. So I totally believe in like bettering yourself and making sure that you're getting better throughout your life. But for me, it created this unrealistic expectation of perfection. So I was like, okay, if I do this, 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 and this, then God's gonna bless me with a relationship. Meanwhile, I'm like looking around and seeing all of the people who are in relationships. And so I had to come to the conclusion this year that sometimes there's just a divine weight. I wish someone would have looked over the crowd when I'm 16 years old and pointed out people and said, hey Morgan, you might get married when you're 20. And Shelby, you might get married when you're 25. And Amaris, you're probably gonna get married at 30, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and a season for everyone to enjoy the gift that God has given you. A couple of years ago, I had this big revelation that God gives his best to the people who leave the choice up to him. And so there were different periods and different times in my life where there might have been someone that was pursuing me, and I was just like, I could settle here and I could jump into this and I could, have what I dream of, a marriage, but it wasn't God's best and I knew that. And so I just made that choice that I was going to refuse to settle and I was going to just let God do his work, Like the other day I was asking one of my friends, why do you think I'm single? And she said, because you made the choice to be single. And I was like, no. And she said, yeah, she's like, throughout your life, there's been people who have pursued you, but they haven't loved Jesus. So you made the choice to be single. And I'm like, fair. So I feel like some of us wait to be chosen to start living a meaningful life. And in the last few years, I just decided, hey, I'm not gonna wait to live. What a silly thing that we've started to believe that our life doesn't have value until we're married. And I know that the church puts some pressure on, couples, they are more in leadership than single people, but I just wanted to tell you that you're valued. So if there's a trip that you've been wanting to take the trip. I started to do that. I was like, there are certain places that I want to go with a boyfriend or a husband, and I was like, you know what, screw that, I'm doing what I want to do and I'm gonna go on some trips. So I have gone to Canada, I went to Seattle, I've been to Paris a few times, in the city of love. Actually, I went to Paris one time and they had, it was at Christmas time, they had this little counter thing and they were counting all of the engagements that were happening on Christmas Day in Paris, and I was like, all right. But I still enjoyed myself, and so I just wanted to tell you, don't wait to start living a meaningful life. Your life right now has as much value as it'll have when you're married. God loves you just the way you are. get out there, live your life. So in this period of waiting, in this singleness time, I just wanted to encourage you, don't miss out on what God has for you in this time period. I feel like sometimes we put more like pressure on God's promises and his presence. And so in this last year for myself, I have made sure to like seek God more than ever and to not be like mad at God when it's not happening for me. And I know that's so hard. Like sometimes the hardest part of waiting is seeing other people receiving the thing that you've been believing God for. There's a part in the Bible where it talks about John the Baptist, and John the Baptist is in jail and he's hearing all of the miracles that God is performing, or Jesus is performing for other people. And he's like sitting in prison like, Jesus, do you still care about me? And do you care about what I'm going through? Like, I need you in this moment too. But he said, blessed are those who are unoffendable by God. And I have taken that to heart, because it's like, I know that God has good things for me. I just have to believe that and not be so caught up on the promise that God's given me, and just really soak in his presence during this time. So I just wanted to encourage you, like whether you're single, whether you're married, like this is your time to really soak in what God has for you and to believe what he has. You know, I've heard it said that faith moves heaven. So if you're in a waiting period of your life, I just wanted to encourage you to keep the faith, soak in God's presence, and start living a meaningful life now. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If this video helped you, or you know that it can help someone else, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. I have some other good ones coming up. Pretty soon I'm going to be talking about the list and what I'm looking for in a husband, and I hope that it'll encourage you. So I'll see you again soon.